Well, if that doesn't make for a good start to the day, I don't know what does. Look at that. Sun's a bit bright, so I can't come right round that way. But that is very nice. Certainly a good way to start the day. It's only just sunrise o'clock, so sun's still pretty low to the horizon there. It's the long shadows. It's coming up for long shadow season too. Right, got places to be, so I need to get going. Well, come up to a hill. I like to visit every now and again. Saw a couple of people up here, it was good. Let's do a picture across here. Oh, nice. That's Barrier Lake down the bottom there. Baldi Mountain, that's all the Fisher Range. Right in the middle of there, that's the Kananaskis ski hill. Out over that way, it's all Hunchback Mountain and what have you. And if you follow it all the way around, apologies for the sun, that's Cox Hill. And way over in the distance, way out in the haze, you'll actually find that there's Calgary out there somewhere. Got some nice yellows starting to come. That's good. Bit of cliff along here, bit of a rock band. You can actually see this rock band from Calgary. That tree there in the middle, you can actually see that tree too if you know exactly where to look. But yeah, starting to get a bit of yellow down there. I keep seeing spots of yellow down in the forest, dotted around in amongst all the conifers. That's good. Right, I'm going to do a video on the way down and then go from there. Oh, looks like we've got us a knickknacks box up here. Let's see what's in the knickknacks box. Well, I signed the book. I shall put the book back in a minute. Not sure who put that there, but yeah, always makes for an interesting thing. Right, I shall put that back where I found it. Lots of yellow starting to come down through the mountains there. That's Barrier Lake down the bottom there, with Prairie View there and Yates Mountain. I think this elevation gain to up here is about 500 meters, something like that. It's not huge. It's actually a very nice walk. A couple of steep bits, but that doesn't matter because I'm heading down now. So all the steep bits in the world don't matter. It's heading downwards. Very pleasant walk, I have to admit. The rule for coming up here, keep the rock band on the right on the way up and on the way down, keep it on your left hand side. Can't go wrong, easy to follow, very easy to follow actually. The trail braids a little bit on the way down. There's a couple of spots where it's easy to wander off, but I'll do a video as much as I can down here and go from there. So if this is not a glorious day to be up here in amongst this lot, I don't know what is. Look at that. One last look at the top. The other year I had a flagpole up there with a flag on it, but the flag all got ripped to shreds, so I took that down. I noticed my flagpole was gone. I did leave a pole there, but somebody decided that was, they probably slung it down the bank now, I guess. No idea. Wherever it is. It ain't here now, so yeah. I shall head back. Right. I will put this away just for a second until I get back to the trees, and then I'll do a bit more from there. It's going to get a little bit of that on the way down. Look at that, all the red coming in. People are always going about where the yellow larches are and all that kind of stuff, because the larch forests look really good when they're all yellow, but there's a lot of full colours, not just yellow. Yeah. Right, when you're coming down this hill, like I say, keep the rock band on the left hand side, and the trail goes into the trees just where that piece of flagging tape is there. That's when the trees get out the sun a bit. The sun is very nice. I have to admit, for the 1st of October, we are, they say today we're going to be 24, 25 degrees, something like that. For the 1st of October, for goodness sake. Yeah. Can't odds that. Right. The only thing with this trail, you've got to watch, there's quite a lot of loose rock and stuff on it. But wouldn't want to twist an ankle up here. Yeah. Have to say, way easier going down here than it is coming up. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, be careful coming down here, because as I say, these trails, they braid all over the blooming show, because there is no proper trail up here. This is just gonna find your way, see where you end up. But it is fairly self-evident if you're used to wandering around the boonies and stuff. But, right, I shall put this away until I get further down by the grey shale corners there, and I'll do some more from there. Very pleasant wandering down through here, I have to say. Am I going to take the edge, or I don't know. You have to kind of just meander your way down through. Like I say, as long as you keep that rock on that side, you're pretty good. Hard to get this one right. Although down here past the grey shale bit, there was an old fire road in here, or a logging road at some stage. People tend to wander down that way, and then they find themselves way up the trail. Not so easy that way. This is way easier. Really nice view coming up on the corner down here. You can walk down through the forest. I prefer to walk over on this edge. You get some nice views along here. Here and then again, some nice little rocky bits. I do clear bits of trail, but all these logs that are on the ground, these rot away so fast once they're actually on the ground. If they're off the ground, then not so quick. Now this tree here, I call this the lichen tree. That tree, I have seen that covered in way more lichen than it is. It's really cool. So, if that's not cool, I don't know what is. Yeah, I've been up here in the winter, and you come up here, everything's snow and what have you, and that tree still looks white and green. It's fantastic. An old dead tree. People look at it and think, it's a dead tree, it's nothing. However, I guarantee you, there's a lot more insects living in that old dead tree than there are in any of these nice healthy trees that you'll see here. Yeah, because the healthy trees have a natural defense against insects and what have you. But once they die, all the insects burrow inside them, makes little homes for them. It's pretty cool. It's pretty easy to find your way in and out of here. It's a very nice walk actually. I think bottom to top is something like 450, 500 meters elevation, something like that. It's not huge. There is a steep section at the beginning that I don't enjoy, I must admit. It's short-lived, and the views from the top make it well worthwhile. Yeah, it's one of those trails when you first start on that steep bit, it's very easy to think, oh god, I'm not going to bother. But trust me, bother. And then once you get up the top and you start seeing the views from the top, you will be glad you did. Right, I'm just going to put this away for a second, and then I'll do some more in a minute. Just going to have a drink. Right, this corner coming up here is nice. I call this Grey Shale corner. There's the rock the other side of it. It's a really loose grey shale, and it's a bit of a pain. You can slide down it actually. But if this doesn't make the walk up here that worthwhile, I don't know what does. Look at this. I've actually had a picnic here one time. That right on this corner. Right by these trees there. Let's do that shot again. Yep, had a picnic sat right there. Now if that doesn't make for a good view, I don't know what does. Look at this. Stunning, isn't it? This is Grey Shale corner. There's a bit of a cliff here. There is a way that you can cut down through the forest, down through that way and down out, but it's a bit steep. So what I do is go around here. I'm going to go down through the forest that way, because the road is actually, I can see the road way down the bottom there. That's where I'm parked, right down there. So that's Powder Face Trail. That's where I've got to get to. Yeah, be a good place to have a hang glider. Yeah, just fly down there. Perfect. Right, so this is Grey Shale, and I don't like this piece of the trail, I must admit. It's a little slippery. As the plants and the mosses and all that lot grow on it, it stabilises it and makes it much better. Once the roots get in there, it stabilises it. But as it stands at the moment, it's a bit wobbly. Either that or that's me that's a bit wobbly, I'm not sure which. This is the trouble with hiking up mountains. In my head, see what I mean, it's slippery. In my head I'm still 20. Unfortunately, in my knees, joints, feet, arms, legs, and pretty much everything else, not so much. So when you come down here, there's a little brown clearing space over there you can see in the distance. That's the bit you want to head towards, because that's where the end of the old logging road was. That's the corner you want to head towards there. You have to watch this stuff. This is why I don't like scrambling on the hills. But, I like to have good traction, and this is not good traction. So I want to head down there. Let's see. You know what I mean about Grey Shale? I'm not quite sure what kind of rock this is. Look, yeah, I'm not sure what that is. It's definitely a pigeon step kind of trail. Don't want to be taking any big strides on this. And this piece down through here, this is the bit that people quite often turn off the wrong way on. So I will find the junction down here. Because this piece was an old road, you naturally tend to follow the wide bit all the way down, but that is actually incorrect. Because the rock band is now a considerable distance off to my left, but this trail will actually take you down into a very steep piece of forest with a very chewed up piece of reclaimed road at the end of it. It's not very pleasant. So I want to head down through here and then off to my left. That's what I mean. It's quite wide, isn't it? And it's very easy to head off down that way. You really don't want to do that. Got to kind of stay to this centre piece as much as you can, and then when I find the turn off, I will show you. It braids all over the show. But if that is not a glorious day, look at it. That 1st of October, for goodness sake. Yeah, I can remember. Probably shouldn't say, but I can remember shoveling a couple of feet of snow beginning of October. Yeah. Right, as you come down through this shaly bit, be careful not to get dragged into the trap of walking down the wide bit because you don't want that. There is some flagging tape up through here, so it makes it a lot easier. And a lot of people don't like flagging tape. However, I would rather people go the right way than the wrong way, and because they're down the bottom of that hill, there is a drop off down there that's about 30-40 feet, so I would rather people know where they're going. Somebody has built an extraordinary number of little rock cans up here as well, which is very nice to see. I'd rather see rock cans like this than I piled some more on there on the way up than plastic tape. However, there aren't always rocks where you need to mark. So now just down here, it's very easy to go straight on, but you don't want to. Yeah. It's very easy to go that way, and you don't want to do that. What you want to do is go that way. You want to go off to the left. So somebody has built a nice little rock pile there. So thank you very much, whoever did that. I will put a little bit of tape on this tree because once we get a foot of snow up here, you ain't going to be able to see that. So let me just do that, and then I can carry on. Right, so following this down the hill, still in the shaley bit. If you look at it, it looks like you go straight on that way, because that looks like a nice big wide trail. You don't, you turn this way. You'll see a couple of little bits of flag in there. That's where you want to turn. If you go that way, it takes you down what was the old logging road, and you'll actually end up in a right mess and a really steep grade down, and there is a drop off at the bottom, so you want to actually turn left here. Right, let me head down through this way. Oh, the temperature difference once you get back into the trees, eh? This piece coming up down here is what I call the puddle. I've been down through here numerous times. Actually found this area with a lot of water in it. I had to skirt around it one time. I also come up here one time in the spring, and it was the only place that still had water in it. Right here, this hole here, I actually call this the puddle. I've come through there and found that pretty much full of water. Right, I need to peel off round to my left here a bit more. I don't want to go to the right, I want to go to the left. So I will cut back across, get back to where the rock band is. Way easier to follow. All the way up through here you'll find trees that are all chewed up and whatever. Makes it fairly easy to follow. Let's chew that up a bit more. Help nature in its process. It's amazing how quickly that stuff rots away. Yeah. Oh. Like I say, somebody built a whole pile of these little rock cans up through here, which is rather nice. Like I say, I prefer to see those than the tape. However, once it snows and there's 2 foot of snow on the ground, you can't really see those too much, unless they're really big ones. Can't really build huge big ones. Once this road closes down the bottom here, middle of December it closes. It doesn't open again till May. You can have 3, 4, 5 feet of snow down through here. If this doesn't make for a pleasant walk, I don't know what does. This is one of the most underrated trails in this area, I think. Because it is steep at the beginning, I think a lot of people kind of shy away from it, I guess, because it is steep at the beginning. But it's only that one bit that's steep, so over the trees. As long as you're comfortable in the forest. Now you have to bear in mind, no pun intended, there are bears out here. Bears, cougars, wolves, coyotes, squirrels in abundant numbers. Yeah, all kinds of deer and all kinds of stuff you'll find out here. So always make sure you've got your bear spray with you and you know how to use it. It's the most effective deterrent there is, pretty much. At least we don't live in polar bear territory. If this was polar bear territory, there's not a million years you'd catch me out here on my own without a decent rifle. Anyway. Like I say, there's plenty of rocks to trip over down here, which is why I'm really glad that this GoPro has absolutely stunning stabilisation on it. Because I have tried filming trails like this before with my other cameras, and I can tell you now it just comes out a shaky mess that you can't really watch because it just makes your eyes go funny. It's not good to watch at all. But this GoPro, I bought the GoPro 10 last year, and it was it earlier this year. Either way, the absolutely amazing little camera. Love it. Absolutely amazing. Perfect for what I do. Doesn't get much better really. Yeah. A lot of it's like this loose rock. So you have to kind of pick the ones that move the least. Yeah, they all move. Just pick the ones that move the least. As long as you follow this rock band down, keep the cliff bit. There's a cliff off to my side down there. Let's see. As long as you keep that off to your left, you'll be good. Yeah. But this way, you get lost on this trail, you're really in trouble going anywhere else. Super nice trail. Met a very nice older couple earlier. They were up here having a wander around. That was good. I don't see many people on this trail, really don't. It's nice to see people using it. This is one of the quieter trails. This is not what I call a tourist Instagram trail, you know. Yes, there's some nice views, but you've got to work for it. Get up here. Yeah. Like I say, it's 500 metres. I think it climbs 500 metres in something like 2 or 3 kilometres, so it is fairly steep, but it's worth it. Right, I will stop rabbiting until I get further down through the forest, and I'll do a bit more. Like I say, lots of nice rocks and that along here, and this is the piece you're following, basically all the way down. So, oh look, there's a pole just like mine, hanging in the tree. Perfect. Absolutely wonderful day for walking the mountains. Unfortunately, we do still have fire advisory on. Otherwise, I would have picked this weekend to go camping. Because beginning of October and sunshine like this, bloody amazing. Would have been a really good camping trip. Yeah, it goes down to 4 or 5 degrees overnight, but that doesn't matter. Yeah. At least when it's colder, you get a good night's sleep. If it's too hot, you know, it's like if it's too hot at night, you don't stay and sleep. Yeah. You do have to be a little bit careful along here because, like I say, it is a drop off. Squirrels are quieting down. That's not always a good thing. Yes, very nice. Pick your way through the trees. A bit more. But every corner you go around, just stunning views, isn't it? Look at it. Look at that. And I can actually say, I did bring my coat with me today because round here this time of the year, who knows what can happen. It can just turn to absolute garbage. Wind can change and hey presto, it's suddenly really cold. But I have a top on. I can honestly say I'm actually quite warm. Never thought I'd be saying in October, hey, it's nice to get back into the trees, I'm too hot. Normally it's like, oh look, I can take my coat off, but I still have 3 layers on. Yeah. Oh, I cut this one out on the way up because somebody had made a trail down through that way, and again that takes you off to the wrong side, so I had to cut this one out on the way up just to make this a bit more obvious. That was a big rotten one you had to step over. I can remember when that tree fell. That was about 4 or 5 years ago, I think. It's now got to the point where it's rotting away pretty good. See, if the trees are off the ground, like these ones here, right? This tree, yeah, how hard that is, that could stay like that for, I don't know, 15, 20, 30 years. And it takes a very long time to rot. But once it's touching the ground and it gets the moisture in it, then it becomes a whole different ball game. Right, there was a couple here I just wanted to take care of because you've got to duck under these. I noticed these on the way up. I'll just whip those off, and that'll be a lot better. Many great viewpoints from up here. That don't make for a nice view. I don't know what does. I bet there's some people at Cox Hill today. Really popular. That hill right in front of me with the grass on the top there. Very popular with mountain bikers, isn't it? In fact, I can see some little lumps up there. But from here, they're just tiny specks. Could be people. Could be little conifers. Yeah. Bit of yellow coming in the trees down there. There's the road down the bottom there. That's where I'm parked, roughly down there. Yeah. That's where I've got to head back to. So I will pick up my pole. Whenever I stop, I always put it up against a tree somewhere, because if it falls off that little cliffy bit, I've got to go down there and get it. That's not good. So I'll go head down this way. Like I say, if you've never done this trail, it's well worth doing. I've been up here with my good camera. You can actually get, is this the clearing? There's a piece on the corner here somewhere. You can actually get a really nice view down. Is this the one? Really nice rock band all the way down through here. Look at this. See, that's what you don't want to fall off. You don't want to fall off that. That is a long way down. Don't want to fall off that. Yeah. Yes. If you drop your pole down there or whatever, long way to go get it. Yeah. Although you can get down there. I have been down there. Yes. Very nice, eh? That's not a nice picture. I don't know what it is. Very nice. Right, on I go. Right, so I'm getting down the hill. Certainly getting back to where I need to be. This is the really steep part, as you can see. This is the bit where I need to have on my hands and feet. But, you slide down this stuff. It's painful. It's very painful. There's a lot of rock in it as well. Look at that for a nice view. I must admit, it looked much nicer when all the trees were there. However, most of these trees down through here are grown as a crop, so we have to kind of remember that. But yeah, they will all grow again. If the forest all grows at the same speed, it all dies at the same speed. So you need that continuous cycle of new and old, new and old. Yeah. Nature used to do that with forest fires. You get a forest fire come through and wipe out every tree that you can see in front of us. And then 40, 50 years later, you'd never know it happened. So that was nature's way. But we keep putting the forest fires out because obviously that's timber's worth a lot of money, and there's houses and infrastructure and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so it's a good way of managing the forest, and that's the key, is to manage the forest properly. Fortunately, Canadian law says they have to replant all that lot, so that's good. Right, I'm going to head on down the hill, put everything away so I got my hands and feet. Right, here I am back at the bottom of the hill. That's steep, that last bit, so I didn't do any filming. So this is the view looking across this was the logging road. So as you come off the Bus Creek Trail and you're heading up Hunchbacks, you'll come to this piece and you are going to head straight across. If you look right in the distance, you can see some orange tape. I cut out a couple of big trees over that way. And then where it joins this trail is right there. Bugs. Whoa. Right, so as you come up this trail, just as you get to the top of the hill, you see a pile of rocks and some tape. Turn off there, and basically you're going to head pretty much in a straight line straight up across the cutway there, and you can see the tape on the other side. Right, I'm going to put this away and have another drink of water, because I can tell you what, for the 1st of October, this is hot. That has literally been the balls of my feet all the way down that hill. That's heavy on the feet and the knees, that is. Right, I'm going to put this away for a bit and have a drink of water. Right, I'm back at the bottom. Cross over the bridge. Water's way down. And that's really wide across there. Yeah. Look at that water. Oh, that is so nice. Look at that. Yeah. End of this bridge stayed good. I had to pile a bunch of rock in there the other year. It all started to turn into big holes, which is never good. Look at that creek. You can see how cold that water is. Wade across there a bit. Splish splosh, splish splosh. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that looks so good. It looks like you could just drink that, and I wouldn't recommend it. It's all the beaver and stuff up this valley. So never a good idea. Not unless you want to spend the next few weeks sitting in the bathroom. So, well, that looks good enough to drink. And trust me, if my life depended on it, I would. But however, I have fresh water with me. If that's not a nice way to end out that trail, I don't know what is. So I will call that it for now, and I'm going to head on home and have a nice sit down. It really gets the legs going, that does. That's a good cardio. That is a good workout, that trail, I can tell you. Yeah. Right, that'll do for now.